Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong has given an interview, and in this interview, which give a perspective of the world tariff situation, basically say that things will never be the same again. Now, it is important that we get this wisdom and see how we should adapt to it. And today, there are also some new developments in the tariff space, and certainly have big impact in the economic world and the financial world. So let's just watch on till the end. As usual, these are my disclaimers. These are not financial advice, for education and entertainment only. So let's just watch on. So Indonesia is set to face a 19% tariff under a new deal that's just been struck between the US president and the Indonesian president. So this new deal certainly set a new phase for trade between Indonesia and US. Let's take a look at the details of the deal. So Donald Trump has just announced that Indonesia will pay 19% tariffs, okay? In exchange, Indonesia will also buy other things as well, including 50 Boeing jets under the new trade deal. The rates of 19% is significantly lower than the original 32% that the US president has threatened, but the timeline for the implementation of the deals currently remains unclear. Now, Donald Trump is pretty smart. In negotiation class that if you attend in MBAs or business school, they will tell you that you first anchor the level high first, right? And once you anchor the negotiating partner, then from there, anything that is set below, you will actually concede as a win. So basically, Indonesia got anchored at 32%. So at 19%, they will consider a win compared to 32%. So Trump was very smart. He anchored in a negotiation Indonesia, and Indonesia basically just have to pay for it. So Indonesia said on July the 16th that you reached a trade deal with US after an extraordinary struggle in negotiation, which result in a reduction of the proposed US tariff from Southeast Asian country export from a 32% to a 19%, right? They considered more like I wouldn't say celebration, but it seems at a point of comfort that, they managed to get it down from 32 to 19%. Now, US Donald Trump said that the deal has been struck after he spoke to Indonesian President Prabowo, and the deal is among a handful reached so far that the Trump administration ahead of a August 1st deadline for negotiation. This is an extraordinary struggle by our negotiation team led by coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, okay, said the Indonesian president spokesman as he speak to the reporter. Now, the Indonesian president on July the 16th hailed a new era of mutual benefit with Washington after President Donald Trump announced that goods entering the US would face a 19% tariff, far below the 32% he earlier threatened. I had a very good call with President Donald Trump. Together, we agree and conclude to make trade relations, between Indonesia and the United States into a new era of mutual benefit, he wrote in an Instagram post without giving details. As part of the agreement, Indonesia has committed to purchase $15 billion in US energy, $4.5 billion in American agriculture products, and 50 Boeing jets, many of them 777, Donald Trump wrote, of course. And Donald Trump is like literally howling about this whole thing. But let's also be mindful. Indonesia today runs a trade surplus with the United States of about $18 billion US dollars, and of course, then as a result, the buyer, which is the customer, has of course the bargaining chip. Indonesian non-oil exports such as footwear and textile will take a hit, but energy and agriculture are set to gain. Officials are, of course, pleased that they are in Mr. Trump's good books. He's warned that the Indonesian economy will still be affected by Mr. Trump's tariff on China, which is Indonesia's biggest trade partner as well. So, by the way, Indonesian footwear and textile, frankly speaking, if you add a 19%, I personally don't think you will take such a big hit, in the sense that if this t-shirt comes from Indonesia, it's at $1, right? You increase it to 119. I don't think matters a lot. Okay, maybe it's not $1, it's $5. Like 19%, it's a hit, but it's not that big a hit. So I think cheap goods at 19%, my guess is okay. The 19% probably will be shared between the exporter and the importer. So actually, it's wrong to say that the Indonesians will pay for the full 19%. But what they will really pay will be the Boeing aircrafts and some other payments that they have committed to pay. I would think that this is a reflection of many good deals that Donald Trump is getting for his country. This is a very smart negotiator. I really got to take a hat off him. So he have won quite a few negotiations so far, and all the countries are just rushing to cut deals with him. And the US is set to benefit tremendously from all this negotiation. Now, this is a quick, exciting announcement for later around 8:39 p.m. Okay, just watch this short video clip. Okay, and just let you know some exciting things are coming.
Unboxing this giant lychee. Okay, I haven't seen it myself yet. Okay, so this is the first time unboxing. This is actually a 2 kilo box. Okay, so this is actually how it looks like. Wow, look. I'm actually in the warehouse right now. Mr. Tang's warehouse.
Cold room.
Cold room, okay? And then they got an ice pack here to keep it cool. Okay, and then all this. Wow, look. Wow, protected. Why it's wet?
Wow.
Oh,
What
look.
大貓eh?
So big.
Wow, say man.
So
Wow,
big.
say. This is like bigger than a ping pong ball, man. It's like
yeah.
half, almost a tennis ball already, I think.
Definitely bigger than a ping pong ball. Okay.
This King Kong lychee.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Okay, so next.
Okay, most important is to eat. Eat
the
is my
days,
job, right?
Eat is your job, yes.
Wow,
I'll pass to
okay,
Mr. Lu
let's
to
take a
eat.
look. So now this is Mr. Lu just opening up the giant lychee. Wow, it's big, man. Wow, this is big. Okay, I'm gonna open up and see. Okay, it's wow, it's big, man. Okay, it's juicy for sure. Okay, I'm gonna try and see how well it tastes. Okay, wait ah. I never even opened up such a big lychee before. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try right now.
Walao. Sorry. The juice just leak out. Okay, sorry.
Very sweet. And it has a lot of bite.
Very juicy.
It has a lot of bite. We have a lot of flesh. Very sweet. Very nice. Not overpoweringly sweet. It's really at the right texture, right sweetness. I can eat a whole box. Really very nice. Must get this one. Join us for a live stream tonight. I have very limited box because this lychee is hard to find. Live stream tonight. Don't miss this. Okay, I'll see you at about 8:30 tonight. And yesterday we also did a poll. A lot of y'all have asked us whether y'all want Mr. So Chin Heng to run a financial mastery course. We ran a poll. About 356 of y'all polled no. About 86% of y'all said yes. So that's about 300. I think it's enough to fill an auditorium. So Mr. So Chin Heng has kindly agreed that he will run a financial mastery course for those people who miss out the ticket. So we'll launch the ticket soon. Please hit subscribe and don't miss the ticket sale. Okay, and it's important for you to hit thumbs up the minute I do a live stream. I don't ask you all for a thumbs up in this kind of video, but in live stream we have to. If not, yeah, that's the algorithm. So keep a close watch on it. Hit subscribe, turn on a notification, and always follow us very closely on Telegram because I will activate a notification on both YouTube and Telegram as well. So now going to the main gist of my title. Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong in an interview with the Economic Society of Singapore, where the crowds are mainly academic economists or practitioner of economists. So it's a place where all the economists are. I've actually said this: impact of the tariffs are not temporary. A lot of people think that once Donald Trump goes away, the tariff will go back to where it is. No, historically, that's not true, and senior minister actually saw that. So tariffs are not temporary. The world will not go back to status quo, at least not for a long while. In trade policy, economic policy, once you make a move, you can't take it back. There are consequences, said Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong. So the world will not go back to status quo or what it was before. Before US President Donald Trump rolled out the tariff, said Senior Minister, and this is something that will have consequences. When you first put the tariffs, everybody complains, which is the truth, right? We all kabu and things like that. For example, those who need steel will ask why steel is so expensive, and those who make chips will ask why they can't sell to China, blah, blah, blah. But once you put in the tariffs, and once the new players comes who depend on the tariffs and need the tariff protection, you will say, I'm going to take the tariffs away and we're going back where it is politically not possible. So when the world in US have tasted Haagen-Dazs ice cream, they will not accept Magnolia ice cream anymore. Once you have tasted, Mao Sanwang ice cream, you will not go to D24 ice cream anymore. It's just life, right? So once you've tasted goodness, you cannot go back to where it is. Once all these tariffs bring in the revenues for government coffers, subsequent presidents will not give it up anymore. The world order has changed as well. So is it good or bad for Singapore? A lot of people said, well, Singapore is not affected so badly, right? So we're 10% and maybe even benefit out of it. And Mr. Lee laughed and quoted a Chinese idiom. Actually, it's quite cheap, okay? I never heard of this before, but he said, and I think it's beautiful. He says, 50步笑百步. In English, it means that the person who retreated 50 steps from battle laugh at the person who retreated 100 steps and say, you're worse off than me. The truth is, you are already worse off. There's no need to laugh at a person. They are worse. They are much worse off than you, right? Everybody get hit, and Singapore will get hit as well. So responding to another question, which I thought is a point of interest to me, how young Singaporeans should define success in today's society, Mr. Lee said it is for young Singaporeans to define what success means, adding that they are now born with all the advantages that their parents were not born with. The standard of living and opportunities for education has grown, Mr. Lee said, and there are jobs available to Singaporeans all over the world. So young Singaporeans now are born with a lot of advantages. Now, instead of saying, you are so lucky and things like that, but he actually said this, which is very important, that we need to inculcate that to our young Singaporeans, our young adult. What do you want to make out of your life? For yourself, for your family, and for your country, and for your fellow human beings. There are so many things you can do. Don't sit back. Don't lie flat. If you lie flat for a while, I hope you'll be ashamed of yourself. So encourage our children to not just appeal for and slack, right? And go for a higher calling for yourself, for your family, and for the country, and maybe for mankind as well. I think this is very noble, and we should encourage this, and I'll talk more about it in live streams subsequently. The key takeaway from today's video is this: Donald Trump, as much as we don't like it, is winning big time in his trade negotiation at the expense of other countries, including Singapore, including Malaysia, including Indonesia, and rest of the world. US is set to benefit tremendously from all these tariffs, and the government coffers, the government revenues will increase, and businesses will benefit in US as well tremendously. We don't like all this, but this would uplift US economically and even politically. They have the muscles and they are flexing it right now. And we just got to accept that this is the new world status and new world order. The world will not go back to the old days of free trade as we previously experienced before Donald Trump comes in. And I think we should just learn to adjust to the new world order as it changes and accept that things would not be the same again. But I think looking forward, the US stock market, because US is the net beneficiary of all these tariffs, will set to benefit tremendously, right? I think it will compound from strength to strength. And all those people who have heavy position in US, I think it will benefit tremendously. So continue to hit subscribe as I announce more and more of these very interesting news so that you will not miss it and we can all take advantage of this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tonight in my live stream.